gonna play Pauper today. Hi, Pink. So we have 4. We have 12. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Thanks for the host, Sean. So, oh god. If it's mono black, this is gonna be really frustrating. So it's a good thing we didn't mulligan there because this deck is just gonna completely empty our hand. But it would have been nice to get one more land and like a creature we could cast so we could start emptying our hand on the creature. Okay. Another issue is that they have Geth's Verdict. Probably Wrench Mine. So they're holding up black. It's probably Geth's. Nope. Okay, that's okay. If we can get a 1-drop and a cartouche out, we should be fine. It's not a 1-drop. It's not worth it to play out Seeker against mono black because next turn they can just Geth's. Just black, target opponent sacrifices a creature. So we would lose our creature. We need cartouche out to protect us from verdict effects. So hopefully they don't have any targeted hand discard. Oh, that sucks, Pink. This is Pauper. If this was Vintage, I think the game would be over by now. So this is only common cards. And I'm playing a deck called White Heroic, which plays creatures like Seeker the Way and Winged Steed Rider, but a 1-drop. I actually don't like this card in here, but this list is one that I got online. And I've been adjusting it. I think this is the first thing to be cut for me. Because it's a 3 mana with Heroic, and I feel like I'm always trying to keep up our protection or something. But turn 3 is way too late to start making my board. Opponent thinking about whether or not they want to Raven's Crime me, I guess. Chittering Rats is pretty good. So what we do here is we Defiant Strike the Chittering Rats, so we draw a card. It's God's Willing, which sucks. If we had a creature, we could scratch at the bottom the card that we have to put on top, but this is a pretty good lock against us. I think I have to run out Seeker the Way now. So opponent's probably going to tap Geth's Verdict, I lose a life, then attack for 2. Disfigure. Oh. Wow, that's actually way better for us. Ooh. Geth's Verdict here would have absolutely killed our creature, but now that since it's just Disfigure, I mean, we can either we're now blocking the rats as well. They may have another spell though. We'll see. Combage Witches. They made a new art for this apparently, and new text, so it's actually readable. They're going to make me discard a card. It is going to be... sorry, it's like loading slowly, so just give it a second.
Dog Strong said I'm not allowed to donate, but I got a bit more money from my last paycheck, so it's all good. Also, hey Brooke, there's a lot of cards on the screen.
Thanks, Pink. Now we have a first strike 2/2, right? Oh no, 3/3. And then we'll make an Umbra on the warrior token. The reason we're doing this is because Combage Witches just kills it otherwise. Hi, rats. Yeah, this is the heroes deck. This is the instant version, not the so I'm tempted to attack here so I get the life. And then if they want to attack with Combage Witches or something, I don't know what they would even do. Yeah, that's fair enough. Now the problem here is if they have Unearth. Well, if they have Unearth, then I just God's Willing our warrior, which will suck. Okay, they don't. That's actually really good because they'll tap one and then now God's Willing on black here, I guess. Or maybe they're gonna... Yeah, that sucks. Okay, so we'll cast this just so we get the scry. Fortunately, opponent can keep us on basically no cards in hand. So a lot of our instant tricks are not going to be great. We do not want that. So I'm looking for another cartouche. Or actually, another cartouche isn't that great. So I can only attack with the Secret of the Way, because if I attack with this, they block, and then tap, do 1 damage. I lose the Umbra, I kill that, and then they... Oh, they can't tap this one. Never mind. I don't care if I lose my Umbra. If I get some creatures out. I'm just trying to be fancy here. Because this lets me select with 1 damage to be done as well. Why? Do they have this figure in hand? That'd suck a lot. Okay, that seemed really, really, really odd. I think they meant to block and then tap, because if they would have double blocked and then tapped, they could have killed this. No, they couldn't have, because it's first strike. I would have killed one of them at least. Doesn't really So we'll still keep our Vigilance guy. We'll just lose the Umbra. And hopefully we draw a target spell. That makes like a protection spell or something. Protection from black would be nice. Oh my god. Okay, so opponent's gonna grind us out with witches. They got a very good hand. We did not. I don't think we have very good sideboard for this either. We have Blinding Soul Eater in the sideboard. We have 2 main board. So gut shots. Well, that certainly hurts. No, opponent will lose a witch from this. Oh, no, never mind. So I don't know if we can actually kill or keep anything on the board against 3 of these witches. Thanks for the 3 months, Tarp. Yeah, I think we just got to pass here. Opponent will hit us for 3 again. We need one more targeted ability here so we can stack the heroics to outdo the damage that the opponent has. I should have kept that in my hand, because now if they retrace, I don't have anything to pitch. That was a misplay. Whoops. Yeah, they're gonna retrace right now, aren't they? So our artifact that's a 1/3 that taps things would be pretty good. Instead we draw more land. I think I'm gonna see what the next draw is and then I'll just concede. Because they can just grind us out because their lands actually do stuff. Ooh. They're getting pretty low though. The sideboard is fine though because we have these apparitions to get rid of the Raven's Grind. So we'll probably bring in another Soul Eater, these apparitions, and then go down like a couple one toughness creatures. Ooh, geez, that is pretty good. I'm gonna play these both out now. Opponent will have to have an Edict and a Doomblade or something, or 2 Edicts. So I think I'll probably go down our 1/1 1 drops. These O4s are good. They're fine. And we'll pick that one. Okay, so we get to save 2 damage this turn. Opponent has 2 cards in hand. It has to be an edict or something. Oh, tendrils. God damn it. Ooh. Yeah, we just lost tempo way too much. Okay, so we want this in. Oh, these are right. I don't even have 1-drop 1/1s, do I? None of these guys. I'm gonna bring in all of these. Basically, we want to get around their lockouts. And we also want things that are cheap. So maybe I'll go down to Soul Eater. The 3 is really nice there because it does require them to have 3 witches out to kill that. But they have so many other things to kill as well. I think mainly the Beckon Apparition will help us out, and these will help us out a little teeny bit, just because we get to use our extra mana. I wish gut shots were better against mono black, but it's a very good control deck. Yeah, I'm pretty okay with this hand actually. We'll draw a land eventually, and we have. They're gonna make us discard something. We discard a Beckon Apparition, and then Beckon Apparition their Raven's Crime when they cast it. Hopefully we draw another land though, because I would like to turn 2 Skyguard, if at all possible. See, that's awkward because I would have preferred them to, well, I think we could actually still get around Gets. I think we should be fine. I forget this format doesn't have fetch land, so the graveyard is like empty for the first couple turns. Okay, we really wanted opponent to do anything. What do they have that's 1 mana? Let's see. Mono black control. They're 1 mana drops. They don't have any removal 1 mana. They have this figure and that's it. So I think we're gonna scribe. That's actually good, so we'll keep the land. Cool. I won't put down the Skyguard because it actually does die to this figure, and we won't have enough mana to keep it protected. So right now we have a card in the graveyard, so we can dodge Verdict. And I'm pretty sure if they cast Verdict, I can cast this on the Verdict before it resolves as well, so... Opponent must have kept removal. Let's see if they discard like a Raven's Crime. No, Tendrils. Okay. I think opponent just kept a really risky hand, maybe. So we gotta be careful if they get any land. We gotta start Thinking about what they could have kept for 2. You're gonna play a game of what, Dogstrom? Okay. So they're gonna cast this figure on this. Do we care? Because if next turn they do Swamp Verdict, then we lose our 3/7. Yeah, I don't care. Oh yeah, if anyone wants to help Dog get a computer again, feel free to donate. All of the money is just going straight to that at the moment, so it would be appreciated. Okay. I'm going to keep 1 up. We're going to dodge either... They only have 2 mana. So we're either dodging Verdict or a removal spell. I don't think we need to keep up both Unscathed and Aberration. So let's get in with a lifelink as well. We're kind of going Voltron here, but we have the token generators that will let us dodge edicts, and there's plenty in the graveyard now that we can get around it. And it's instant speed, so like it kind of really screws up. Oh, so they got their second land. I could race them. I'd bring it up to 6 damage next turn if I did that, and then it's a 2-turn clock. And I would have enough mana to cast both Apparitions, but I wouldn't have a... Victim of the Night will totally fuck us if I do that, though. If opponent has Victim of the Night, then we lose, basically. So I'm not going to do that. I don't know how many more games I'm going to play, actually, because I do want to go on a walk for a bit. So I won't be streaming for that long. Okay, let's see if opponent had Victim of the Night or Geth's Verdict. Geth's Verdict. Chainer's Edict. Okay, same thing. So we're going to target... Okay, so it doesn't go to the graveyard, so that's good to know. We're going to Beckon Apparition. I mean, we could play, like, off-stream at any time you want, so it's fine. Opponent commending me on the dodging the verdict. Okay, I don't think anything needs to change. The elites don't help us in this matchup. That's really good for like Infect or something, but not really here. I don't know if I'm actually okay with the Soul Eaters, but we don't have anything else. So we might as well. We need the butts, basically. We need the toughness. And I really need to draw another one of those 0/4 1-drops because it dodges a lot. Okay, so we have 3 lands. We do have the Prowess. On turn 3, we can protect our guy, but only from one type of spell, only from removal. We don't have any Edict dodging, but I think we can go a little bit slow here, hopefully. Okay, opponent has tap land. Generally, yeah, that's good. Okay, that's not as good. So basically, if I turn 2 Secret away, we're just hoping they have a disfigure. But I don't think they would have turned 1. Okay. So we can discard our Soul Eater or discard 2 lands. If we discard 2 lands, then we have to draw a 3rd land. But Soul Eater does... I'm going to discard Soul Eater. Just for card advantage, because if the opponent starts swaying us, or burning us down with discard spells, it's better to just do the 1 instead of the 2. And we need a cartouche or something anyways. We can't do a 2 into a 3 and hope that we dodge Edict or something. Chittering rats. Okay, that super sucks. Because we don't have a scry. And there's no shuffle effects really in... There's Evolving Wilds and that's it, and that's really bad to play. So I'm going to Secret away and hope that they use a targeted removal, basically. Opponent has 5 cards in hand, but... I mean, I think it's equally likely that I have a targeted... a token generator or protection, so yes. Okay, so the question is, do I think I just need a Genic here. Because I want to save the Unscathed for whenever we can benefit most from the rebound.
What am I fighting for?
I had a dream that Dogstrong and I were playing hook, but, like, in real life, and she hunted me down and pointed a sword at my eye, and then I woke up.
Thanks, Cody. That's a great dream. So I think opponent has us here. Unfortunately, we didn't get any action in our draws here. And it may have been better for me to have pitched the... I think it's still the right play, but it does suck that the artifact I had to pitch was our only other creature. That was a hundo? No, it wasn't. You misread it, sweetie. It was $10, I think. Sorry, I can't, the only thing I see is the name. Holy shit! Oh my god, that was 100. Thank you so much, Cody. I'm so sorry. It looked like a 10 whenever I pulled the thing up real quick. That's very, very much appreciated. Holy shit. Thank you so much. Wow. Thank you. That actually does help a whole bunch. For Doc's computer. Oh my god. Well, I saw the 1-0 and then I was like, oh, $10. Sweet. I was like, ah, that's a really good donation. And then I totally... Well... Okay, well, we're actually dead here. Unless we get another creature here, which we didn't. I mean, no matter what, we're gonna Artfield maneuver. Yeah, I'm very sorry about the whole not having an actual notification for that. I think you made it, you just never put it on. So we're gonna empty our hand here to kill a 1 mana cost creature. Delve is very good, and there's no white Delve cards that I know of. Opponent's happy to take that trade since we now have no cards and no protection for our creature. Ooh, the opponent does not have... Well, they're probably going to attack first. It's better to attack first to see if there's any spells I can cast. I feel like they must have... Yeah, there we go. Victim of the Night. Fortunately, both our rebounds don't do anything now. Cycle Defiant Strike. Theosomatic. Okay. So we do have a weak matchup versus black. Mainly because we don't have a way to really... Oops. I mean, this is good. It's fine. But I should have mulliganed a little bit better, actually. Also, I don't know about the main board lifelink. Let me bring that out. Oh, we'll go back in. Okay, now watch the main board lifelink just prove itself to me here. Also, Goaty, if you have a Twitter, you should tweet at me so I can thank you properly somehow. Another fucking mono black. Lifelink. Defiant Strike. Draws us a card, but it doesn't protect us from any other cards. Okay. Ow. Let's see if they'll start using their removal. Hopefully they try to get greedy and just use a Disfigure. If not, next turn we could have... Ooh, nothing. You have something now? No? Okay. Okay, so they try to get greedy. They have a Geths in hand because they're trying to disfigure. Okay. The good part here is that those counters stay on. So we're basically casting, you know, don't die, and also get a 1/1 counter for 0 mana. It is a card though, so we are going down in cards, which isn't great against a a deck that mills our hand, but they did use 2 removal spells, and they still don't have a good verdict. Oops, I did not mean to click through that. Did not mean to click through the attack. But if they do verdict us now, we just pick the one that's not a 3/3. Next turn we have God's Willing, hopefully. So verdict, or edict. Yeah, Wrench Mine is one of those just ball leg cards. So I think we just play around some edicts here. So I don't really mind if they use target removal on one of these cards, because the other one will still be very good. If we can get a game 1 against mono black control though, that'd be very good. So gets verdict. We sack the 2/2. So if we would have kept up God's Willing, we would have had no attacks next turn. Hopefully they make us cast God's Willing next turn. Because I do want to scry. We're basically out of action. Also, I played the land. I didn't need to play the land. Whoops. Okay. So opponent is going to cast Chittering Rats. We're going to make this a 4/4 and scry. And there's no downside now. They just played a 2/2 for 3. I mean, they made us get rid of a God's Willing. But hopefully we get something on top of our library here. Let's see, we do not want that. Another thing is if you have 2 cards and one of them is God's Willing, you put the other one on top and then you can scry it to the bottom. So you're still drawing fresh cards. So there's some nice interactions there with that. Sometimes I swear they don't actually put the cards to the bottom. So opponent only needs a Victim of the Night or a verdict or an edict. Or tendrils for 4. Ah! For 3! You only have 3 swamps. Bojuka Bog does not count as a swamp. Tendril says for number swamps. I thought it was the other tendrils that does X damage. Okay, we leave this in our hand. I don't know if it's a bug or if I would have just drawn 2 lands there. So our mono black opponent saying that they probably lost, which means they have 2 spot removals in their hand. Oh yeah, I love vintage era art. Oops. So they have a full art Liliana Spectre, which is a very nice card. Mono black control is also a very cool deck if you're interested in Pauper, because it's basically taxing your opponent the whole time. Hey, cat. So, Chittering Rats is good because you just stop them from drawing. So if they don't have an answer already, then they're not going to get one for another turn. And discard obviously is very good. Wrench Mine is very good. And then you just have edicts like out your ass basically. And unless they're going super wide, you can just yeah, it's fine. So I'm holding off on maneuver there because they may have a disfigure that they try to put on. They don't. Yeah, Chittering Rats is just like the best card for mono black in Pauper. If you do Dimir control, you get Ghostly Flicker, and you could just lock. You could literally hand lock your opponent for the rest of the game. And then Phyrexian Rager is also very good. You can use. I ran Undying, so I would get these back as 3/3s with Tortured Existence. But that was kind of like an all-in. Oh, okay. So they have Unearth. So they're going to force us to play our one card, which is an artful maneuver. But nice thing about it is that we have Rebound, so we get it next turn. Yep. That's... I played that deck routes. You have Arcanomancer and Ghostly Flicker or something. So you Ghostly Flicker your Chittering Rats and your Arcanomancer, and then you get back Ghostly Flicker. And then you Ghostly Flicker your Chittering Rats and Arcanomancer, and you get back Ghostly Flicker, and you just do that every turn. And you can duress them or something to see what they have in their hand, and like make it so they don't have any actual answers. And then opponent is basically stuck because there's no good shuffle effects in Pauper, unfortunately. Which is one of the things that makes it just not great. Paupertron basically runs that combo, star. Okay, so if we get a protection here, I think we're good. That's also good. So this is good because we get to lock down their board. Oh, no, we can't. That guy's so scary. Oh, there, my Skyguard. I forgot that you can't tap. I don't know if opponent's gonna concede or... So this is actually way worse than I thought, because I forgot that this is a tap effect. So I'm not sure about this inclusion in the deck, to be honest. It's the only tap effect that is mono white and also free-ish. Repeatable tap effect, I mean. I don't know. So opponent attacks. I'm going to block because they may have... If they just drew Tendrils, then they have Exacxies. Because that can target me, right? Oh, no, you can't. Oh, but Gary does. So they would have had Exacxies if I didn't block there. So this is something. I can tap one of their creatures, and then... Oh, no, I can't. Okay, yeah. I have to not block. Well, good thing I thought that through. Is this taps? That would have been really embarrassing. I don't know why opponents said GG if they're not going to concede. Seems a bit odd. Opponent drew another Gary, then we're dead. Yep, we're done. Okay, so we need beacon apparitions. I don't know about those actually. They do help with the wrench mind. We didn't see any witches in this build. So, no, I'm gonna take them out. Okay, this is really good. So I'm gonna just go out on a limb and say that they don't have a 1 mana removal for this card. Which means that turn 2 we get to put down 2 creatures, which means we can dodge a 2 mana verdict. Unless they have exactly duress, or I think it is. Whichever one hits creatures, I think we should be fine. If they have duress, if they had duress, then we would be in a pretty shit spot right now, but okay. So what I want to draw here is a protection spell, not a land. Okay, so we're fine as long as we don't draw any more lands. This is an incredibly strong board. As long as the opponent kept edicts. Okay, so they're gonna take my Hyena Umbra, but that's fine. I'm gonna play one more land and then keep the rest of my hand. Okay, this is actually not good. I don't think I could flood so much. 18 lands? Okay. Again, another protection spell or something would be really, really, really good. We're gonna take the beats because we don't want a disfigure to kill our big guy. Because a disfigure plus an edict then wipes our board, which they have 6 cards in hand, so they may have that. They may also have double disfigure. So they could spend 3 cards to remove our board, conceivably, right now. This is like not even a joke anymore. I don't think I've ever drawn this many lands in my entire life. Yeah, I can't stop it, so just cast it. It doesn't have an error, it just... I mulliganed wrong. I should have mulliganed this hand. I was just greedy. Because I had way too many lands already, and only 3 action cards out of 7. Which means I had a hand of 4 land that I kept. Oh, they're the Monarch now? Okay, no, we lose. Why would you show me your hand? It was my fault because I should have mulliganed a 4 land hand. With no shuffle effects, I definitely should have mulliganed a 4 land hand. It's just that if I didn't draw land, I would have probably won that game. Why is it doing this? If I had like any protection spell there, it would have been really good. So this is 3 land, which is a little bit more bearable. Because we do have 4 spells. If this is not mono black, then we also can just play out Seeker. Same, haha. I don't know what that means. So I'm gonna hold off because it's mono black. So next turn I can Seeker the Yeah. God damn it. Mono black is just so fucking good. So I have to get Cartouche here. And oh no, actually, oh fuck. I mean, it makes me dodge this figure, I guess, but they could tap Kambaji and then still Edict. No, that sounds terrible. Oh my god. Not having to worry about your land drops sounds like it would ruin this game. We just can't beat verdicts with this hand. We could put in Sacred Cats and embalm them. But that still just dies to... Well, they're creatures at least. Eight lands in a row in a 20 land deck is like incredibly unlikely though. Unless you had a whole bunch of land in your hand, which then you shouldn't have kept on the hand basically. Like every time I've flooded, I shouldn't have kept my hand. I was just being greedy. Like this is a much better hand. One land, I have action, I can protect myself from things. Unfortunately, opponent didn't put anything in the graveyard, so I can't... Oops. I did not mean to click through that. Because I would have liked to Divine Strike and then attacked for 2. Yeah, Zombies is a pretty good Pauper deck as well. Okay. So I'm going to rebound because it gives us 2/2 next turn, and then also it targets twice, so we get 4. So this will be a 4/8 next turn. Opponent looking at with the discard. I think we want to draw a card here. So we're going to attack for a cool 6 damage on turn 3. And then next turn, we can dodge a Verdict or a targeted removal spell. Looks like it's going to be a Verdict, or, ooh, targeted removal. Awesome. This means that we get more counters. So I'm going to spread the love here and be a little bit greedy and put counters on both so I don't get totally blown out whenever they have something. So attack for 7. I don't think Murder King is a zombie. I didn't know that. So opponent's only going to be able to kill one of our Trailblazers this turn probably. I would guess that they are going to Edict and then Verdict. Okay. So this one obviously. So if we get one targeted spell, we win the game. In our deck full of target spells. So literally anything here would be great. Just not a land. It's not what I wanted. So maybe I should have put everything... So against verdicts with protection, maybe I shouldn't spread it around. Because every creature besides the one that I'm trying to protect is basically fodder for an Edict effect. So that may be something for me to think about whenever I play against mono black again. I mean, they're going to have to board wipe me here to win. So let's see if opponent can board wipe me here. With 4 cards in hand. They could also have a Tendrils and just Tendrils my Skyguard, which... Ooh. Does not do it. Give something else. Okay, that actually, in combination, does buy them in time. Unless I get a protection spell. So opponent has to block with both of them, meaning that they're going to lose their board again. Buying themselves a turn. But, again, they're going to have to... I don't think they have 2 removal spells, because they would have played one last turn, I would think. And have any cards in hand. So if they had a targeted removal spell... or Verdict or something, I think they would have played it last turn. Which means if they drew one, they only have 1 in hand. Opponent Sign and Bloods themselves to death. Sent me a message, but I did not get to see it. As there's no way for me to see messages once I'm sideboarding. Yeah, Chainer is 7. Oh, they said GG. Okay. This is a very creature-heavy hand, which I like because we can turn 1 Sacred Cat. In a minute, we should turn 1 Lagona. Turn 2 Seeker of the Way. Or maybe turn 2 Sacred Cat. Actually, let's put Sacred Cat out first. Basically, what I'm doing here is I'm trying to get them to use... If I go wide with creatures, because of how my hand turned out to be, I think I can subvert a lot of their removal. Because if they use a Disfigure or an Edict or something on my Sacred Cat, I just get it back with an Embalm. You know, if they Disfigure my Skyguard, I have more creatures in here, so it should be pretty good. Ooh. So they did cycle. They have 2 things in the graveyard, so I could use Beckon. I could put down Lagona with a God's Willing backup plan. Or a Beckon Apparition. Reds, that would be a really good card because people would just reanimate it. Because you don't, whenever you reanimate, you don't cast it. I mean, they have that card basically. It's an 11/11 trample with infect, but you can hard cast it as well if you want. Okay, so they're gonna make me sacrifice. So I don't know. I could embalm. Is this sorcery only? Yeah. Okay. So it's better to do this because I get to keep one damage next turn. And the next turn I have. I kind of want to put. If I get another land, I'll be really set. Mutagenic. So I could put lifelink on Lagona and then just attack. Opponent could have a Disfigure and an Edict, though. I could have got around the Disfigure with the Mutagenic, but I'd rather try to go a little bit wide here. Just so I make the opponent have to have, you know, 2 Disfigures or a Disfigure and an Edict or just some crazy amount of removal in their hand. And we still have a Secret of the Way, just on layaway here. Also, this art is so good. It's so weird. It's a pretty good art as well. I never actually looked at this. This is one of those cards that I just never... I just thought it was something completely different. What's this? So I'm going so wide here that I'm not really investing anything. I do actually want to do this though. I don't want to lose a creature if I can help it, but I do want to clear the board out. Also, we gain 3 life here. And the next turn I could just cast another Skyguard. You know? I don't think they run Pack Rat. Or not Pack Rat, Crypt Rat. Because it's a pretty expensive card. And I think I would have saw it before if they did. So I don't think they can sweep us. And all of their removal is like edicts, so I always get to choose. Or they do a Disfigure or something, and then I don't care. Okay, so they're going to bring that back. They're getting some pretty good card advantage, unfortunately, which means that pretty soon here they are just going to have the answers to clear a board. So I think next turn I don't play out the Skyguard, I keep back the God's Willing to blank one of their removal spells. Cheering? Oh. Well, that sucks because I don't have any. I don't bring any enchantment removal for the oubliettes because I just assume that no one has these because they're so fucking expensive. Opponent chooses my Lagona. Here's that's the thing is that what are they gonna pick? My 0-4? They just used an oubliette to take away my 0-4, so I do think the going wide here is good. So I'm gonna lifelink the Skyguard to give me prowess, so I can attack with these. Also makes the Skyguard a 2/2. Sharoon. Yeah, Sharoon is pretty cool. I like Elder Norn a lot. I don't know if I'd call Elder Norn my favorite card art, but she's definitely up there. So if they Edict next turn, I think I just sack the cat. And then I keep up a God's Willing. Because we do have a lot invested in these two creatures over here, and we can't get through anyways. Okay, that's actually problematic. Oh, no, it's not. No, it's not, because it doesn't do all of them, right? I can still take their Unearth or something. It would have been cool to have them target their Phyrexian Rager and then Apparition it, but I don't think I had that card at the time. Okay. So they're gonna Disfigure or Flyer. And they do have 5 cards in hand, but they can only cast one more edict, or one edict. They have another Disfigure maybe. But the Prowess is going to make this a 3/3. So I don't think they can wipe our board at this point. And they're actually going to let me cast this. And we need protection. Okay, so opponent's down to 7. I don't have any targeted abilities in my hand right now. I do have Prowess, so if we get a cantrip of Deathful Strike or whatever it's called, the 1/0 draw a card spell. That's another thing, is that there's not a lot of cantrips in mono white, obviously, because it's mono white, so it's not as powerful as like a Prowess deck, but that's interesting. So I think we're going to Umbra our cat just to spread around our investments a bit here because of things like we don't have any protection spells. So we can't protect from targeted removal. So if they Edict, then we toss the Seeker or the cat. But if they don't Edict and they do targeted removal, we're not going to be completely blown out from a Victim of the Night. And we do have First Strike here, so they're going to have to double block and lose everything. And if they only block 1, then we win, because I have a Prowess trigger off of Beckon, and we'll do 7. So that's kind of what I want right now, is for them to just get greedy. They didn't get greedy. So we just let it go through. First Strike happens, kills the Rager. So another good thing that would happen, actually I don't think opponent's going to do it because that'd put them to 3, but if they do unearth a Rager, we do have the Apparition in response. So opponent needs to kill 3 creatures this turn, with targeted, and then choose a non-land card from it. Okay, we'll make our Apparition. I think that means they have targeted removal then, if they're going to lead with that. But like I said, they have to kill. They either have to do targeted on Skyguard and on Secret of the Way. So 1, 2, 2 Disfigures, and an Edict is what the opponent needs to have exactly. Oh no, they need 2 Edicts now because I made the Spirit, so I think we win. Because this comes back if it dies to targeted removal. So they have to force us to sack it then. Okay, opponent has Tendrils, and they're going to Tendrils our Flyer 4, 5, and go back up to 9. But we have 5 damage on board. Would really like protection spell. Ooh, a Cartouche actually isn't bad. Cartouche, another, it's a 1 mana that gives 1/1 with Vigilance. And the thing that it equips to gets 1/1 with and First Strike. This is just like insanity. It's such a good card. I don't know why they printed that card at common. It's so good. It creates a Vigilance token basically, so we never have to worry about. I have 35 HP, yeah. Oops, sorry, let me turn this down a bit. Oh yeah, I do have 35 HP. But... No, do I win here? No, okay, I almost won. Yeah, it's a 1 mana. So this is their way of... Because enchantments are like... No one plays enchantments really because they're so bad. Because you get 2 for 1 so easily. Like if you cast an enchantment and they kill the thing you're about to put it on, then you lose 2 cards. And they only used 1 card. So that's just a straight 2 for 1. But if you land an enchantment... sometimes it's good, but like, yeah. So they're gonna Gary. I'm gonna go up to 4. And then I'm gonna attack for, they block here, so I do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I need 1 damage. Did they have a Disfigure? Well, anyways, the Cartouche here is nice because it, no matter what, as long as it lands, you get a Vigilance dude. And then you get the bonus of if it sticks. So it's actually playable, and there's other things that make it even more playable. So I attack with everything, and I don't care what they block. Is all we need to do is just grind through their board right now. If they have another Tendrils, then we're in a bad situation because they can just heal through it a lot. This is round 3. Okay, so opponent needs to have quite the amount of answers or a heal spell. Man, if we had like any spell besides just putting down a Skyguard, we would have won right there on the spot. Opponent has another Gary. That makes our attacks last turn not so great. We do get in for 3 in the air. Yeah, we can get a pro black spell or something. We'll get a Plains instead. So now opponent's probably just going to play another 2 Garys and win the game. Another card that I can't believe is printed at common. Really wish opponent would like F6 through these things, because they are at 9 minutes right now. They've just been probably the slowest player ever. Oh my god, I forgot about the Oubliette. Yeah, that's why they've been getting so much health. So they get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If they have another Gary, they get 8 health next turn. They have their own Cartouche. So they take out what, my flyer? Oh my god. So if I get a protection spell, we win. I have quite a bit of protection spells in my deck, and I haven't cast any of... I cast one of them. So all we need to do is draw our protection spell. And we're not going to do that because they just played Chittering Rats. Which means I should have played my Plains last turn. It's so silly of me. And they attack with the 3/5. Okay, so they get back at the... Oh my god. We're going to just play this match forever. Like, you're tapped out, dude. Come on. Why taking this... Why do people take so long on this? You're completely tapped down. We're just swinging back and forth. And they have 8 minutes left on the clock. One has 3 cards in hand. The Geths. They don't have any flashbacks or anything. It's not tense, it's just frustrating. Like, either I win or they win, but they're taking so long to do it. So I'll hold back. And I'll double block with the life, or double block their life linker if they throw it out. Because I gotta stop them from getting life. Opponent casts Chittering Rats. I say you're not getting any life this turn. And the next turn, hopefully I draw something that turns 4 damage into 8 damage somehow. I draw the thing that gives me +1 and draws a card, thing that gives me +1, draws a card, and then a protection spell. Opponent goes down to 6. Making my top decks incredibly good. Are they going to gain life this turn and just throw away their guy? Oh my god. 2 cards in hand. Just play them. Opponent goes down to 4. Seemingly unaware that first strike means they don't get lifelink. Okay, at least the opponent doesn't know what they're doing, so we can win. This doesn't have an enter or exits the battlefield, right? No. Okay. Right, so they gain no life, and then I get a 4/4 in the air, and I kill them. I just wish it wouldn't take them so long to figure it out. Unless they have a mutagenic. If they have a mutagenic, then I'll just concede. Even if they have a mutagenic... Oh, I mean, it makes sense if they put the flyer first, then. I think right now they're Googling first strike, though. More likely. Opponent gains no life. Spent 14 minutes of our collective time doing so. Completely tapped out, still thinking about stuff. I don't get it. Don't do that if you play MTGO. If you're thinking about something, give priority to your opponent, because they can do stuff while you're thinking. And then if you need to do something, yeah. Okay. I'm gonna get off. I'm gonna go on a walk. But thanks for showing up, and thanks a lot for the very generous donations from Goaty and Pink. Oh, bye-bye.